What's going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another broadcast of Break the Chains Media. I'm your host, Corey, and today is July the 30th, 2021. I know it's been a long time, and I really appreciate you coming back to check on the news update from my channel. It's been a weird few months for myself personally, and for most everyone else in the world, right? We've had a few good times. We've had the mandates removed, and we can go live our lives again, but now there's talk about everything being clamped back down again and more medical tyranny and an authoritarian state looming on the horizon. So I wanted to come back and talk with you about what I think our next steps are and with the moves we need to make and the knowledge we need to have on hand so we can fight this and peacefully and effectively move forward and keep our civil liberties, keep our humanity, and your body, your choice. Do whatever you want with your time. But I feel like I have a good community here, and I feel like we kind of resonate on the same frequency. So I think you are going to love what I'm about to talk to you about. If you haven't yet, hit me up on all the social medias, Minds, BitChute. I do have YouTube videos, of course. And then I just started a new Telegram page, t.me/BreakTheChainsMedia. Follow me there, and we can all talk one-on-one or as a group, and we can talk about the next steps we need to do to take this fight to the people, from the people, to the people, all around. We need to fight for it, okay? We're going to talk about the Nuremburg Code today, folks. The Nuremburg Code came out of World War II, it was written in 1947, and has to do with human experimentation and medical procedures. And I just wanted to kind of hit a couple of the main bullet points of the Nuremburg Code, because I feel like what's happening today and the medical Orwellian tyranny that's being imposed on us through mandates and through othering of people who decide to not take this experimental medical procedure, untested, un-FDA approved medical procedure. This Nuremberg Code is a huge roadblock when it comes to what they're doing, and we need to speak out. We need to say that this is not right. So we're going to go into that right away, okay, folks? We're jumping right into it. The Nuremberg Code. This is an article posted by the New England Journal of Medicine, written by Evelyn Schuster, PhD, back in 1997. 10 main points of this. We're going to hit them off real quick, okay? The Nuremberg Code. The voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. Okay, that's why they can't force the medical procedure on you. You have to voluntarily take it. But they're dangling these carrots over your head. Oh, if you want to go to a movie, if you want to go shopping, if you want to go to the restaurants, if you want to be a part of society, you have to take this experimental medical procedure that's causing much more adverse reactions than originally stated. Okay. Number 2, the experiment should be as such to yield fruitful results for the good of society, unprocurable by any other method or means of study, and not random and unnecessary in nature. All right, so my thought is that everything that came out of the Wuhan region, the Wuhan lab in China back in October 2019, all of that stuff caused what they're doing today as far as medical tyranny. The virus was not necessarily the enemy. I mean, well, it was, obviously. It's a real thing, and it did affect people, but it was not as deadly as they made it out to be. What is going to affect society now is this voluntary experimental medical procedure. It's currently voluntary now, but who knows what's going to happen in the future. This is going to cause more harm to society than good, in my personal opinion. Okay? The experiment should also be designed and based on the results of animal experimentation and a knowledge of natural history of the disease or other problem under study that anticipated results will justify the performance of the experiment. Okay, Operation Warp Speed. That they pushed out these things in 11 months. They had to recall the Johnson & Johnson one because of blood clotting. Okay, but then they said, "Oh, it's fine," what was it? They actually said they're actually currently now most of these shots are soon to expire, so they're just extending the expiration date. What kind of medical science is that? Where they just say, "Oh, these things are going to expire. I guess we better extend the expiration date so we can keep shooting people up with these experimental medical procedures." Like, what kind of science is that, folks? They want to put it. They want this in our bodies, and I don't know what long-term adverse reactions we have from this because it hasn't been studied yet. Okay? The experiment should also be conducted to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. Folks, just look around. You can look up and pull up any articles from Israel, from Italy, from France, from the United States, from anywhere. There are physical and mental suffering and injury being a direct result of what they are trying to push on us. Okay? Number 5, no experiment should be conducted where there is a priori reason to believe that death or disabling injury will occur, except perhaps in those experiments where the experimental physicians also serve as subjects. Hey, Dr. Fauci, I'm talking to you, buddy. Hey, did you take the shot? Are you the one? Did you sit down and do it? How about all these other people that are talking about taking the shots and making us take the shots? Jen Psaki over here, she's the one saying, oh, I'm not going to disclose White House information for you regarding to the White House officials that have or have not taken this. Like, what is that? It's rules for thee and not for me. You live under the boot of our control. And that's what they're trying to push. This is medical tyranny, this Orwellian state that's going to cause further harm and further separation of classes and societies. There is going to be no more middle class. There's going to be the serfs and the owners. Okay, there's going to be these little peasants down here, us, because we have to listen to them. It's what they want. And then they're going to be living up here, high and mighty, floating around in spaceships and riding on Virgin Galactic. Okay, folks, it's just utter insanity. All right. Number 6, the degree of risk to be taken should never exceed that determined by the humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. Basically saying, is this procedure going to do more harm than good? Is this going to actually benefit from what we're actually fighting against? In my opinion, it's not. It hasn't been tested. It's not FDA approved. And we're seeing multiple different adverse reactions from this. It's dangerous, folks. And do it with as you will. Talk to your doctors about it. But I think personally, it's just not my cup of tea. Okay? Excuse me. The experiment should be conducted only by scientific qualified persons. The highest degree of skill and care should be required enough through all stages of the experiment and those who conduct or engage in the experiment. They want the best of the best to be conducting these experiments. Okay, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok videos, but you got dancing nurses, dancing doctors. You can go pick up your vaccine at Walgreens, go pick yourself up at the corner store while you go back grab a 2-liter of Diet Coke, and you can go get the procedure in there. Okay, I don't know. Who am I to judge, right? Number 9. During the course of the experiment, the human subject should be at liberty to bring the experiment to an end if he or she has reached the physical or mental state where the continuation of the experiment seems to him or her to be impossible. Okay? Now, that you can't once you get this procedure, you can't go back. You can't take it out of yourself, right? So it's that this is like a one-way street. You get it, and you have it, or you don't get it, and you see what happens. Okay? And I don't know. It's just a lot of gray area there. That's my own thing. During the course of the experiment, this is number 10. During the course of the experiment, the scientists in charge must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he or she has a probable cause to believe, in the exercise of good faith, superior skill, and careful judgment required of him or her, that continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury, disability, or death to the experimental subject. Okay? Now, that being said, going into experiment, this is all based in experimental science experimentation, okay? And my standpoint, and this is my belief, is this is valid enough, this medical procedure is valid enough to be classed as an experimental procedure. It's not FDA approved. We haven't done enough animal testing on it. We haven't seen the long-term effects of what it causes in the human body. We're seeing this now across the world, okay? I feel that this has been pushed to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with eugenics. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, but there is a lot of evidence, if you've done the kind of research I've done, that promotes this culling of the population, this eradication of the useless eaters, as Klaus Schwab would call them. Okay, and I feel like this is just a walk right into medical tyranny, walk right into Orwellian state, and they want us to be under the boot of them. They want us to take this and to take boosters and to continually inject our bodies. That we have the ability to use our immune system to defend against these things. Okay, vitamin C, zinc, washing your hands, just general health, eating right. Okay, there's lots of things that we can do before taking this shot. Okay, that's my own opinion. You get your information. If you want to discuss with your doctor, go ahead. But I urge everyone to do your research, be involved, do your research, and know the history of this kind of thing, and know the history of what they're trying to instill, their long-term goal. Okay, the global reset is a real thing. Okay, Agenda 2030 is a real thing. Okay, they have a couple years ever since the election, Hong Kong. Ever since then, okay, they've been trying on all cylinders to push this tyranny against us. We need to speak up. We need to stand up. We need to be involved in your community. Start speaking out. Peacefully make this information heard to people who might not know about these things, okay? And I know that you guys can resonate with me on some frequency, okay? Listen, I'm not Dr. Fauci going one way and going the other, saying the masks are good, saying the masks are bad. Once you get a vaccine, you can take your mask off. And then you can do whatever you want. But wait a minute, 2 months later, we're going to tell you to put it back on again because they're not doing what we want them to do. And there's a lot of adverse reactions. So, there's that too. So, I might just say something on CNN one day, and on MSNBC I'll say something else. Because, I'm the scientist guy. Listen to me. Okay? I'm a short little elf creature. Just come listen to me, all right? Look at me. I'm cute. I'm adorable. Give me a break, folks. Give me a break. All right? With that being said, folks, I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you checking back. I'm going to try to doing videos on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And I'm going to try to keep that schedule so we can keep in touch with each other. But in the meantime, check me out on my other pages. Like I said, I did a new Telegram channel, t.me/BreakTheChainsMedia. We can discuss more there. I'd love to see you. I appreciate you all so much for coming back. And as always, fight for freedom.